Oscar de la Hoya is one of the most famous and charismatic boxers of 1990 to 2000s, the conqueror of 6 divisions, 3 times the best boxer of the pound, and second only to the legendary Manny Pacquiao by the number of titles won in different weight classes. Since his youth, the American has made fans from all over the world fall in love with him. His unique style and breaking punches made a lot of tough opponents to pave the ring. Oscar deservedly took his place in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. But during his long career, the Golden Boy had more than one setback. 6 times in his pro career he walked out of the ring defeated. In this issue, I want to tell you about those defeats of Oscar de la Hoya. Let's look at the circumstances under which the former champion suffered a painful fiasco. Here we go. 1 loss. September 18, 1999, at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. The 26-year-old Oscar, as WBC welterweight champion, enters his 8th title defense in a unification bout against IBF Puerto Rican champion Felix Trinidad. Felix and Oscar went undefeated, both were rookies, and the bookies rated their chances the same as well. De la Hoya was for the most part a counterpuncher, while Trinidad relied solely on punching power and constant pressure. But even at the beginning of the match, it wasn't as many predicted. Trinidad looked unaccustomed to being held back, and there wasn't even a hint of aggression. De la Hoya used it smartly and used his speed to overpower his opponent who just couldn't keep up with him. By the 6th round, Trinidad was in big trouble. His left eye was badly stained, and Oscar was comfortably leading on points. There was nothing the Puerto Rican could do about his quick opponent, even Trinidad's corner was visibly nervous. Felix's left hook had no effect on De la Hoya, but Trinidad himself was missing a lot of punches. Until round 9, no one had any doubts about the winner. But it was at this point in the ring that something unimaginable began to happen. De la Hoya suddenly stopped. He not only completely forgot about the attacking actions, but he began to blatantly back and run from Trinidad. You can't put it down to tiredness. Oscar was in great shape, but the pace of the fight slowed down considerably. Felix, on the other hand, took the championship rounds due to the pressure and more activity. This proved to be the deciding factor. One referee gave a draw, and the other 2 gave the victory to Trinidad, who inflicted the first defeat of De la Hoya's career, with a minimal advantage. The decision is more than controversial. The independent HBO referee counted it a draw, and fans were divided into 2 camps. Some were confident that Trinidad won deservedly, while the other claimed Oscar was robbed. De la Hoya expressed total confidence in his victory and was stunned by the judge's verdict. The fight, which had been called the fight of the millennium, was a real disappointment for boxing fans. And its outcome is still the subject of debate. Trinidad praised the performance of his opponent and immediately expressed his willingness to give a rematch. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. De la Hoya stayed in welterweight division and Trinidad rushed to conquer new divisions. 2 defeat. June 17, 2000. Staples Center, Los Angeles, California, USA. De la Hoya enters the ring with undefeated former IBF lightweight champion Shane Mosley. After defeating the lightweight division, Mosley had no opponents left and jumped 1 weight class specifically to face De la Hoya. Despite all the doubts from the experts and fans, Mosley met all De la Hoya's moves and attacks with speedy counterattacks, punches and combinations. Before the 8th round, the initiative mainly came from De la Hoya, but from the beginning of the 9th round, Mosley was fully reading his opponent and was able to anticipate his actions. In a memorable 12th round, both fighters went into exchanges, dropping all technique, showing a real battle, with Mosley's attacks looking more accurate and dangerous. There were no knockdowns or shocks in this round, but the level of boxing was so high and the fighters did so many technical moves that all combined to cause a real ecstasy in the room. At the end of the fight, Shane Mosley was declared the winner by split decision of the judges and he became the new WBC welterweight champion of the world, and the #1 ranked pound for pound. This loss severely crippled Oscar's already precarious position at the time, who barely rehabilitated himself in front of his fans as he immediately received his 2nd career defeat. 3 defeats. Already 3 years later, on September 13, 2003 at MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, the long-awaited rematch between Oscar de la Hoya and his old rival, Shane Mosley, took place. By this time, Golden Boy already held the WBC, WBA, and the ring titles in the first middleweight division and was making his next defense of them. Oscar, unlike in his first fight, this time he changed his tactics and focused on his strict second-string work, combining legs, excellent jab and explosive combinations. Shane never quite solved the problem in the first third of the fight, trying to close in different ways, and then, when his opponent slowed down the pace, he was unable to take advantage of it, continuing to expect a catch. It wasn't until the 9th round that he managed to land a punch that gave him back his confidence. But Oscar, who regularly yawned at hard punches, had no intention of fading even after hard flops, finding the strength to fight back, and Shane was never able to gain an unqualified advantage even in the end of the fight. All in all, a lot of controversial rounds that could be pulled on both of them if you wanted to, ranging from Oscar's clear win to Shane's minimal win. But alas, the judge's verdict was unanimous. Mosley wins by unanimous decision. The score on the notes, 115-113 3 times. This was by far one of Oscar's toughest fights, though it was still inferior to their first encounter in terms of heat and spectacle. For loss. September 18, 2004, same MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas. As WBO middleweight champion of the world, Oscar de la Hoya stepped into the ring against the outright middleweight champion of the world, Bernard Hopkins. For 6 rounds, Oscar fought on equal footing against a far superior opponent in physical strength, but then Hopkins began to actively develop his advantage. A natural middleweight, Hopkins executed a verdict in the middle of the 9th round, knocking his opponent out with a powerful left hook to the liver, which was the decisive one. De la Hoya went down to the canvas. He was on the floor, bent over in pain, for about a minute. The referee ruled it a knockout. Hopkins became the first boxer to win all 4 major belts, becoming the undisputed world champion and the first to defeat De La Hoya early. It should be noted that Oscar, in spite of losing, got $30 million, but the best fighter of the world, Bernard Hopkins, got only $10 million. So, on to Oscar's 5th loss. After another unsuccessful performance, Oscar de la Hoya decides to go down to the more familiar first middleweight division. By May 2007, he was already a frankly tired boxer. Yes, 34 is not exactly a critical age. But Golden Boy was already seriously worn out, and the partying lifestyle was making itself felt. The consequence of this was a prolonged decline in results. And so on May 5, 2007 at MGM Grand Arena, in Las Vegas, Nevada, De La Hoya fights with undefeated leader of pound for pound, at that moment already very famous American Floyd Mayweather. The favorite in this fight was Mayweather. The aging Oscar was given little chance to win. Unexpectedly, De La Hoya looked good in the first half of the fight and was able to compete with the younger Mayweather. Unlike most of Floyd's opponents, Oscar didn't fail and constantly went on the attack and locked Mayweather up near the ropes, but the efficiency of De La Hoya's attacks was not too high thanks to Mayweather's excellent defense. Starting the second half of the fight, Oscar's activity dropped off noticeably. He got bogged down and began to miss, and Mayweather was able to seize the initiative, although De La Hoya also had some good episodes. And boxers. In the championship rounds, De La Hoya tried to go all out. In the final round, the rivals went for a tough exchange. De La Hoya left literally all of himself in the ring and, thanks to that very same exchange, still took the round. Along with the final gong, the rivals smiled at each other and hugged each other, and the room rose to its feet and buzzed with excitement. It was really a very cool fight. And then the result was announced. Mayweather won by split decision and became the champion in the 5th weight class. Was it fair? Probably not. The debates about that decision of the judges have not stopped to this day. The outcome of the Mayweather De La Hoya fight raised doubts even with Floyd's father. In any case, 15 years ago the perfect professional record of Pretty Boy was saved. And lastly, Oscar's 6th loss. The PPV main event of Golden Boy Promotions on HBO was held on December 6, 2008 at MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. The hero of tonight's episode took to the ring for his last fight of his career against the legend of the world boxing, the future conqueror of 8 weight categories, the star of the Filipino Manny Pacquiao. The bout took place at welterweight. Pacquiao made his debut at that weight, jumping to the number 1 welterweight division, which he had also never competed in. De La Hoya last competed in this category in 2001. Before the fight, most experts thought that the American would easily defeat the former welterweight. But the fight disproved these expectations. Pacquiao immediately took the initiative in his own hands. He moved more often and punched more accurately. The fight turned out to be almost one-sided. Oscar de la Hoya simply had no time to respond to Manny Pacquiao's lightning attacks, managing to win only a few individual episodes. In the 7th and 8th rounds, De La Hoya missed a large number of accent strikes that half covered his left eye, and at the break before the 9th 3 minutes, his seconds decided to refuse to continue the fight. Pacquiao was awarded the victory by TKO. After that, Golden Boy still ended his career and concentrated on his promotion activities, where he objectively became one of the most successful functionaries of the world boxing industry. The attitude to this man, for various reasons, was not always unequivocal, but it is a fact that he was an outstanding boxer. He is the champion in 6 weight categories, the leader of the pound. The fights with his participation were bought on the cable TV giants for almost $700 million. What's more, even now, at the age of 49, he's in good shape and wouldn't mind to come back to big ring. But that is another story. How do you estimate the career of the given sportsman? And how successful would he be, competing in his top condition within the welterweight and first middleweight division at the moment? Write your opinions in the comments. And with you was the GSA Fight channel. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. Also, rate it with interesting comment. Every like, comment, or repost is a big support for my channel. And if you didn't manage to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell, in order not to miss the new episodes from the boxing world. Thanks for watching and bye.